everybody. Here I am, all by myself. I haven't done this before all by myself, so if I make some mistakes, it's to be expected. It's just, wow. I can tell you right now, it's weird. It's weird to be on by myself. Um, so for today's show, what I wanted to talk about was Social Security and um, Medicare, and how Trump is going to uh, annihilate those programs. But first, let me say hi to Teacher Barbara, Mimi, Nee, Butterflies Are Free, UCC Steve, Julie, and thank you guys for showing up, because when I decided to do a solo show like this, I thought nobody will come because I'm not, I guess I'm not that well known yet on YouTube, especially to be doing something like this by myself. But I'm doing it anyway, and we'll just see what happens. Hey, Marie. So, but before I get into this thing about the Social Security, I just wanted to say, I mean, after last week's Democratic convention, I hope everybody's feeling as uplifted as I am. I mean, this is just great. The way things are going with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, it's just amazing. This whole atmosphere has totally changed, and we're just feeling so much feeling optimism and hope and joy for the first time in a long, long time when it comes to this political stuff. I mean, um, it's just really amazing what's going on, and I'm just really excited about Kamala Harris. And but I realize from everything once I got through all that and just kind of basked in that glory for a while, I realized that it's still going to be a struggle. It's still going to be a fight, and Trump is going to continue to try to dominate this. And I don't see it happening. But I do see the problems that are coming up, mainly from Trump. One of the things that guy is doing is the awards gala fundraiser for the January 6th people that were convicted of criminal activity at the Capitol. And I just thought, are you kidding me? This is coming up on September 5th. And I just thought, what in the hell? They're trying to raise money for the defendants, and Trump is acting like that they should never have been incarcerated or anything, because he's still going with that BS about that the election was stolen from him and Biden shouldn't be there. And it just gets crazier and crazier the longer he holds on to this fantasy. And but then I did see that Trump has decided not to attend. A good idea, buddy. I mean, what an idiot. Why would you do that? Why would they even have that? I mean, it's just, I guess they're acting like somebody else is putting it on. Originally, Trump was all going to be gung-ho to do this, and now he's kind of stepping back. So, back to the subject at hand, which is Social Security and Medicare. One thing about Social Security that Trump recently said, I mean, all along he has said that he's going to get rid of Social Security. But then at the last minute here, and ever since the convention, now he's kind of changing his strategies, because he realizes there's a lot of people that really don't like that idea. It's just craziness. So he comes out and he said, what were his words? I'm not going to take your Social Security. I'm thinking, oh, how kind of you. You're not going to take our Social Security. So I thought, well, what does that mean? Well, he's not going to take our Social Security because what the whole Republican Party is doing is they won't do anything to Social Security. Now, that's not really what we want. We need the intervention. We need Congress to come together and help us because Social Security is going to run out of money by I think they said 2033 or something like that. Could be sooner. So what Trump is basically saying is he has not changed his position on it. He's just saying, I'm not going to take your Social Security. No, because they're going to let it burn out. They're going to go let it go insolvent, and there'll be no money. And if there is some money, everybody's benefits will be cut by a lot. Let's see, I wrote something down about that. Um, yeah, if they take, first of all, Social Security has been around for almost 90 years. So it's something that the American people are pretty much used to, and to have it taken away would just be, or it'd be catastrophic. And the same with Medicare. Medicare is about close to 60 years old. Um, and this whole thing was designed for people as they get older. We're not able to work, and we need something to supplement our income. And for a lot of people, Social Security is their main source of income. And without Medicare, they would not be able to get medical treatment. Well, old people, I'm an old person. Things happen when you get older, and you need health insurance. You need something to get you through this because it's very expensive. And that's why Medicare steps in. I wish they'd pay more, but um, so let's say that they don't do anything and things start to fall apart by 2030, 2032, 33, something like that. If you were receiving $2,500 a month in Social Security, you will lose at that point in time, because they won't have enough money. They're going to take away 25%. So you'll lose $625. And so your check that used to always be $2,500 or maybe even more will now be $1,875, $1,875. But then it gets worse because they have not set up a plan to make sure that Social Security stays solvent. So, but the whole thing is, Biden is working hard on this, but Republicans will not budge because they want it to go this way. They want Trump to be in there. They want to turn this into an authoritarian country. And what better way than to take away your money? Now they've got full control of you. You are screwed. So, I mean, they start off with like a 25% reduction, and then it goes into bigger and bigger amounts. So eventually, if it becomes insolvent, then you don't have anything. Biden has been trying to make a change with this. Biden wants to, had Biden stayed in the race, and I imagine Kamala Harris is going to do the exact same thing. They want to increase Medicare because although they give you little raises through COLA that's supposed to help because price goes up, it's not enough. It's still not enough. I mean, there's a lot of people, and I use the figure 2,500. I mean, there's a lot of people that are making a lot less than that, and it's very difficult to live on that. So what Biden wants to do is he wants to raise that beyond what COLA has come up with. He wants to do kind of a across the board increase in your Social Security. Now, I haven't heard what Kamala Harris is going to do, but I imagine since she's been doing everything that Biden's been doing, I imagine she will do the same thing. And that when that happens, here's the thing. Here's what I'm pushing for, is that we have to vote Democrat down the line, because the only reason things haven't changed and things are getting so scary. I mean, we're talking maybe 6 years from now, Social Security is dead in the water. So it's the Democrats want to change it, but the Republicans controlling Congress right now won't let them. So I'm just pushing. We've got to vote blue. We've got to vote Democrat across the board. You need your Congress people. You need your representatives. You need your senators. You need Democrats in there, because the Democrats can fix this. By the way, it is actually easy to fix. It could be fixed right now. That Congress has the tools to save Social Security and Medicare. They know how to do it, but they don't do it because they want us to be under the thumb. I mean, they want us to be the peasants to the king. I mean, that's really what they want. So when when the orange one, when the orange one says he's not going to take your Social Security, no, he's not. But they're just going to let it go by the wayside, and they're going to let it implode. And this is just really horrible. And that's really what I wanted, why I brought this up today, just so that everybody knows what the heck's going on. Let me see some of the things that, oh yeah, and they want to privatize Social Security. We do not want that. That shouldn't have to be. Once you do that, now you've got somebody else in control. No, they need to keep it the way it is. They just need to get closer control of their money. And they're seeing that there's not, there's speculation. There's not going to be enough workers paying into it to keep it up, so that people that are already retired getting Social Security won't get their money. No, they don't privatize it. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. No, it is. It's a terrible idea. It is a terrible idea. We don't want to do that. Okay, so Mimi says her Social Security is only $866. Well, wouldn't it be nice if your Social Security for certain people that are, because the top end, I guess the top end of Social Security, if you're 70 and you take out Social Security when you become 70 and you've worked the whole time, you'll get like over $4,000 a month. That's nice. But for the people down in this category where it's $866, those people should be in a position, and I think this is what Biden's got in mind, for those people at the bottom like that, under $1,000 a month, would be getting more money per month. And I don't know that the $4,000 people or plus, 4,000 plus people would be getting more money. I don't know exactly how they want to work it, but they want to make it so that people do get some more money. And, and here you guys are talking about somebody, Lois gets 1,200 or under 1,200. And I like this. Vote blue from drug catcher up to president. Absolutely, USS Steve. I love that. And let's see what this is all about. Coyote Rosenbaum, 91. Social Security should never have been dipped into for other reasons. Social Security would be solvent now. I looked into this because I've heard it before. And actually, for a long time, I thought the same thing. I mean, we knew that the government is borrowing from Social Security. Everything I've read, and I'm just going by, and I mean, some of these were like official documents from the White House, or from the departments that deal with this. They said that yes, the government continually borrows from Social Security, but they also pay it back with interest, and that every penny that has ever been removed from Social Security for government expenditures has been repaid. Now, take that for what, and that's what I've read. I mean, I've read a number of articles like that. I know that there's other people that are just like, if the government would keep their hands out of Social Security, they wouldn't be having this problem. Let's just say that what I've read is correct. And what the problem is they're speculating that there's not enough people working by 2033 that would be paying into Social Security to cover expenses for what is coming up. I find this difficult to believe. And I also know that they have said that that Congress has the tools to correct the problem and to make it so that we don't have to continually worry that Social Security is going to end. I am on Social Security also, and you know, I mean, if it ended tomorrow, I really don't know what I would do. And I'm also on Medicare, and although Medicare uh, doesn't pay a lot, I mean, the doctors aren't real fond of it. Um, they do pay something, and it is a big, big help. And if you're somebody that ends up in the hospital, those expenditures are it's just so expensive that without Medicare, I mean, I don't believe that this country was set up so that because you got older and you got sick, you should lose everything and die a pauper. I mean, it's just, I don't think that's the way it is meant to be. And I think that is the main reason why Medicare came into play. And let's see, who was it that set up Social Security was set up by Roosevelt. And I'm not sure. I mean, there's quite a space. Let's see. Social Security was in 1935. And I think that Medicare was 1965. So quite a big difference there. So, but both these programs are so necessary, and for the people to be saying that they are entitlement programs, well, maybe you could say that about, I don't know. To say that about Social Security is absolutely wrong. Anybody that gets Social Security paid into Social Security, and you didn't have a choice. Your employer took that amount out of your check every month. It wasn't a whole lot. I guess it's probably getting a lot bigger now, but it's not a huge amount of money. But it's your money. It was taken out. It was put into a fund, and it should have been protected. And they should have been, whoever's doing the accounting should have been able to make it so that it wasn't so to the point where people are fearing of losing their money. I mean, unfortunately, there's other state agencies that help out with things like food and Medicaid. So anyway, so that let me see a little bit more about what's going on over here. What kind of questions you guys got going on? So yeah, I hear you here, Coyote Rosenbaum. They should try living on $1,077 a month. Yes, not easy, not easy. Oh, and also, I guess they're talking about not taxing Social Security. Well, Social Security is not taxed up to a certain point. and then after that, it's taxed. I wish that Social Security had nothing to do with your taxes, and if you are willing and able to go out and get a job along with it, absolutely. I don't know how you can't not do that. I mean, how can you not live how can you live on such a low amount of money and then, you go out and you try to make some money to add to that, and now you've reached that point where it's not very much money. I think it's what it used to be 25,000 a year for a single person, and I think 32 or thousand or something for a married person. But yeah, it would be really nice if they just didn't tax that at all and allowed you to work and add to it, because that would help everybody. But to take that little bit of money that you get along with trying to work, it gets so hard. I mean, it's just so expensive. Okay, let me see here. You know, Garden Genie says, I think we should not have to pay for Medicare out of our Social Security. Well, that would be great. I love that idea. Because yes, they take Medicare out of your Social Security check before you ever get it. And I haven't even thought about that. But that, you don't have any choice, so they just take it out, and you just got less money in the from that little bit of money you weren't getting very much anyway, but now you got to take your Medicare out of there, and it's pretty expensive right now. What is it like? Is it over $200 a month or something? I mean, it's a sizable amount to be taken out when if you're only making 1,000 a month, and then to have that taken out. So yes, this I agree with this from where'd it go? This one, Marie Sutton. Trump and his oligarchs, and they want to use it to invest and make profit. No doubt. I think it goes both ways. I mean, if you're already rich, you could care less. If you got even over 4,000 a month, they could. If you're a millionaire, a billionaire, you don't care. It's not that big a deal. Most people aren't millionaires. Um, most people are living from month to month, and then the closer you to get to retirement, the older you get, the more kind of expenses that you get, particularly medical expenses, pharmaceutical expenses. So yeah, they want to use it to invest and make profit. I still think that what they want to do is to have such a separation between rich and poor that they have control over you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Now that is the authoritarian government that I see happening with Trump, and that would be, um, it's hard. It's hard for me to even imagine that. And I will tell you, and I've said this before, that I see visions of the future, especially in 2025, that this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. I mean, thank God for Kamala Harris. This woman is smart as can be. She's an excellent speaker. She's been working side by side with Biden for all the right things. And I definitely see her becoming president. But I also see that between now and November, we have to really stay on top of this, make sure everybody votes, and make sure everybody gets the same thing going on of telling people, hey, look, Republican or Democrat, you want to vote Democrat because you're going to screw yourself if you go along with Trump. And I don't know what they're thinking about. they're they're just it's just crazy what people are thinking, that Trump is going to do something great for them. No, not going to happen. Which, just a little bit of a change of subject. We've got the debates coming up, and I'm sure you've all heard that Trump is trying to back out slowly, but not sure. Now, I looked at this really, really close, and I thought, no, he won't back out. If he backs out, that would be just the worst thing for him, because that leaves Kamala up there. She said she's going no matter what, whether he's there or not, she'll be there. And it would give her a whole, probably an hour and a half to just go ahead and talk about anything she wants to. And they can ask her all the debate questions, and she can answer them, and she will just annihilate him. So I don't buy his BS about not showing up for the debate. Here's what I think he's doing. I think he's trying to cover his ass for when he loses the debate, that he can say, oh, see, I told you it was rigged. The network has worked against me. These people don't like me. He'd just be doing his same old whiny stuff about he's been mistreated, and that it should never have happened. And that's why he, I don't think he's a fool enough not to show up for this debate. And God, I hope he does. I just can't wait to see what Kamala Harris does to him. It will be just a pleasure to watch her, because she, when Biden went into that, that's the other thing. I mean, Trump is thinking, hey, Biden screwed up. What if I screw up? What if I lose really bad? It could be really bad for him, because he saw what happened to Biden. But yeah, his rhetoric about, well, they kicked Biden out and that wasn't fair. No, nobody kicked Biden out. Joe Biden sat down and thought about it, and we saw what he had to say during the Democratic convention. During the Democratic convention. So, and again, are we not all so thankful for what Joe Biden has done for us? I mean, it's just incredible. And then for him to go ahead and step down, it's just amazing. He's just so selfless, and he just cares about the country so much. And he cares about Kamala, and he sees, he would not have done that if he didn't think that she had all the stuff it takes to be president. And as much as, at first I was just thinking, oh my God, is this going to be a Hillary Trump thing again? And no, it's not, because they're two different people. Hillary was definitely qualified, but Hillary had a lot of Russian interference and a lot of made up things, crooked Hillary. What a bunch of nonsense. Now, the Russian interference and other foreign countries, I believe Iran, is interfering right now in this election. And they have been involved in it for several years, if maybe ever since 2020, to try to get things to go their way. And that's why you would hear so much positive stuff about Trump prior to the Republican convention and prior to Biden stepping down. Now, as we see, things are going a little bit different. People are seeing the light. People are filled with hope. I mean, before it was like we just, trying to imagine that that Trump would get this again, because I was thinking he's going to steal it. I'm thinking he's going to do everything he can to cause election interference. And that's why we got to make sure Kamala wins with no doubt. I mean, that it's a landslide. Now, I've heard other experts say it's not going to happen. It's going to be really close. And so that would make it so that Trump also could make a big deal out of the irregularities, that again, we've stolen the election from him. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I mean, it's where was I at here? Hold on, let me take this off of here. It's so the thing that Trump has developed, just like this debate thing, he sets things up for himself. So when they don't go quite the way he's hoping for, he's got a safety net, and his safety net for the debate will be that he couldn't trust the network to conduct the debate properly. Oh, please. Please. It's so stupid, but it works for him. And now I've also heard that when November 5th rolls around and we all vote for president, that we probably won't really know right away who won. I see that we probably will. I'm hoping. But even if we don't, we know that it's not going to be him. I mean, every psychic on here says the same thing. And I get the same thing from my guides. It just, Trump is not fit for office. Trump is here as an example for us to see what could happen, what has happened when we pick the wrong person to be president. And nothing good came out of it when Trump was president before. It's just amazing to me that he was president. Let's see here. Let me see if I've got. Okay, Garden Genie. Will any of the mega actually see the truth after Trump fails in public where we all can see it? Well, I don't think they will. Fortunately, there's some people right now that are turning, they're turning to the Democrats. They're still remaining Republicans, but they can't, in all good conscience, vote for Trump because of all the lies, because of the 34 felony convictions, because he is just not, he's not presidential. He's not a good person. He's a con man and a liar. And they see it over and over. So there is, I would say, quite a few people. And we saw some of the Republicans that spoke during the Democratic convention. I mean, those people were very convincing. But the mega people, I don't know, some of those people, it's just so, they just don't get it. But I'm just wondering if Trump tries to pull something and drag all his mega followers into a coup, if they'll go for it. And all they're going to do is cause huge, huge problems for themselves. It's just, and unfortunately, I do see big problems around election time and afterwards too, because now Trump is stuck. He's still got this immunity thing going on, but he's got so many court cases that he has to deal with. And although he's managed to push them all out, and I was reading where even Jack Smith is saying, a lot of this stuff is not going to happen until after the election. And I think this is what he's always wanted. This is what he's going to get. So there, he has talked about, Trump has talked about a bloodbath. He's talked about civil wars. He's talked about so many things that are just so far out there. But he's got a plan to come. I don't know how he thinks the plan is going to work, because it will be his group of people. Well, I actually heard from Linda G that she saw that she was presented by her spirit guides with a picture of a huge stockpiling of weapons and tanks and all this kind of stuff that Trump was involved in. Now, I know that, when you get visions like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what it is, but it does sound to me like somebody that's preparing to fight back when they, just like he did on January 6th. But it would probably be even worse. And there is something like, I just wrote this one down too. I think it was like 1,400 people. Yeah, 1,400 defendants have been charged in the January 6th thing. That's a lot of people. And so that's, if they try to do something like that again, and if it's even more, if it's even worse, he's talking about if he actually organized something like this, well, the United States Army, Navy, and Marines would all come together and stop it. And all those people would be in big, big trouble. There's just no way in hell that they can create this kind of thing and then take over the government because they don't like the way the election went. I don't know if that's just a threat on Trump's part, thinking that if people believe it, then they'll vote for him. Boy, that sure doesn't make me want to vote for him. So, and the Social Security thing, I know that's just a small piece of what's going on, but that affects millions and millions of people in the country. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands when Trump says, I won't take your Social Security, that doesn't mean anything, because what he's saying is, not only will I not take it, I won't do anything to save it either. And we've been fighting with the Republicans basically for years on this. Well, since I believe 2021 or something like that, because they want to get rid of Social Security. And as long as we have the Democrats there, and like I said, Biden would do something about it right now, except can't get it through Congress because they are the Republicans. Yeah, I agree. UCC Steve, Kamala will mop the floor with Trump. I know, it's going to be great. God, I just that debate's coming up pretty soon. Oh, brother. No, see, this is one of the conspiracy theories. Thank you for bringing this up, Garden Genie. I'm grieving my sister and brother. I can't have any good, deep conversations with them. They are convinced Biden has dementia and Obama has been running things since Biden got in. That's, that's craziness. I don't see, I don't know how anybody can see that Biden has dementia. I really think you need to look very much more close at Trump. I mean, look at the things he says and the things he does and the crazy, crazy, electric boats and sharks and and then also calling Kamala Harris a communist. I mean, he's doing everything he can to let us know, hey, I'm a sick man, but nobody sees it. They're still supporting him. I don't see anything about Biden having dementia. I see Biden as is an 81-year-old man who has worked nonstop. I mean, he's actually doing fairly well. I mean, I think he's got arthritis of the spine or something, and he's trying to, the things he has done for his age is amazing. The thing he has done in his lifetime, over 50 years of service to the country, is remarkable. So I've never thought that Biden had dementia, and I never thought that Obama was running things. Where did he come up? Where did your family come up with that? I didn't know that people even thought that. No, it's always been Biden, not Obama. But Biden and Obama as a team were excellent, excellent. You know, we couldn't have asked for a better pairing until Kamala and her VP, Tim Walz. That is going to be excellent. I love this guy. I mean, he is so energetic and so positive and optimistic, and treating it like a football game. I love that, because it's just so much different than what we've been used to. We've just been so drugged down, and we've been just numb to all the craziness that um, that Trump shows us, and says. It's just, yes, me too. Love President Biden. Uh, Good point. Mimi says, I just can't imagine anyone but 45's inner circle voting for him. Who wants a dictator? Yeah. But, I think that these mega people, they're not looking at the whole picture. They're not looking into what is Project 2025. They're only hearing what they want to hear, and Trump is telling them that. Trump is saying that Biden's the worst and Kamala is the worst, and that our country is going to hell, that we're getting ready for World War III, that they've destroyed the economy, that they've let convicts and all these people come over the border. Wow. I mean, and he just doesn't stop with the nonsense. So yes, he's got a bunch of people that are just, they're hanging on to it. But those people, you got to remember, they're fearful because that's Trump instills fear. And he is trying to change since the Democratic convention. He is trying to be talking more about policy and stuff, but he can't help himself but to say ignorant things. It's just oh my goodness, it's just a mess. He is such a mess. And who wants a dictator? And that is exactly what he's going to be if he gets in there. An authoritarian government. Everything would just, well, when he says, if you vote Kamala in, you're not going to have a country. No, everything he says is reversed. It's when you vote Trump in, you're not going to have a country. He will change everything, and he will take this division of everybody, especially rich and poor, and put poor people in a spot where they're like slaves to a new government. And then the rich people, hey, they can do what they want because they can afford to do that. Boy, that will be, my spirit guides say, no way. That just can't happen. And I guess that's the other thing I'm depending on, is what my spirit guides tell me. But they also remind me to stay on top of this. And that basically is why I'm doing this show today, is to bring up some of the things that are going on that are critical for all of us, and how important it is to vote Democrat, vote blue, up and down. I mean, we have got to get a hold of the House, the Senate, and the White House. And I just, I can't wait for the day when I can say to you all, hey, it happened, and now we're in a better place, and now watch what happens. And this is where once that has happened, Trump will actually I think he might be committed. I think he'll just go so crazy. I know other people are talking about he's going to head on a plane and go to another country. Good riddance. Please do get on a plane and go to another country because I think that would really help us all. Um, somebody thought, who was that? Somebody thought he might go to the, I think the Mid East or something, and that he would die there. And I'm like, well, yahoo! Let's go for that. Not that I wish death on anybody, but uh, we've been speculating for 2 years what is going to happen with Trump, and we're all been waiting for him to have some huge health issues, and I'm thinking, well, we're watching it. We're watching it. The president, a former president of the United States, who talks in such uh, well, the horrible things he says about the country. Why would we want to have anybody be president who doesn't even think the country is as great as it is? He wants to make it great again. He's the only one that brought it down in the first place. It's always been great. And then when we have Kamala in there uplifting us all and telling us things that we've been waiting to hear for like 8 years, not that Biden and Harris didn't come across positive, but they couldn't get things going because of the Republicans, not just Trump, the Republicans. Those Republicans have supported Trump in all his negativity. Those people, although Trump may be gone, maybe he does go off to another country. Those people don't. Those people are going to have to answer for what they have done. And I look forward to seeing that too. Okay, so yeah, we want to do that. Let me try to get back here I don't know how to do all this, to get back and forth from the chat back into this. So let me see here. Yeah, good point. Victims with unresolved issues don't see the wicked train wreck that DT is. Okay, I see the thing about the army of people that are still in prison. The only thing is that he's got a whole new group. And there's so many, it's not just one thing that he's doing. He's prepared himself, starting with the Supreme Court, but also he's prepared himself to cover everything. When you hear him say ridiculous things, that is to cover for what he thinks is coming. So when things don't go his way, he can say, see, I told you so. It's rigged. I told you so. They've lied. I've told you so. They haven't done anything for the country. I mean, it's his setting up this whole program of his, I guess, to save his ass from going to prison himself. They do have a problem with that, with the Secret Service and all that. But I mean, let's just hope, that when Kamala is in there, that all of this other stuff kind of settles down. But like I said, I don't know. November it could be epic. It could be not so good as far as all the problems that Trump wants to cause. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, so many people have been touched by this. They're so emotional and get so involved with Trump. I think part of it is that there's certain groups of people that want to be in this hectic. We're going to fight, 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 and but they're not sure what they're fighting for, but they're just energized by that kind of negative stuff, and that's a shame, but a lot of them are like that. So I'm still looking here. Perfect. Okay, somebody was wearing a red plaid shirt in honor of Tim. I got one today. Good. I should go get one. That's a great idea. And I mean, isn't he just like a breath of fresh air? I mean, uh, just the thing, just the way he presents, and he just comes out of nowhere. And it took me about one day to go, you know what? I really like this guy. Oh yeah, and then there's the Kennedy guy. Well, no, of course the Democrats or Kamala Harris and her team, they don't want to work with Kennedy. This is the man that was the anti-vaxxer vaccine guy. Um, and I'll tell you right now that I know there was a lot of people, and maybe they still are, that are concerned about the vaccine. But look what happened without the vaccine. Where would we be right now? Think about it. It's the vaccine that put COVID at bay. It's the vaccine that made it so now when you get COVID, you don't die from it. Some people are dying from it, but a lot of people, especially younger people, and there's a lot less long COVID and things like that. No, he's in the right place. He's totally in the right place. Yeah, stick with Trump, you fool. I mean, he's talking about brain worms and dead bear cubs and putting them in the park. I don't know. I can't figure out where this guy's coming from. But even his family is like totally distancing themselves from him. It's so weird to think about anybody named Kennedy to support a Republican. Wow. So yeah. And then when it comes to Trump, that Garden Genie said she'd donate to his jet fuel fund. That's perfect. Let me see. I'm getting a little far behind here. Um, yeah, I mean, it has been. It, I can't, the way things have changed so quickly. So, and I love it that Biden stepped down right after the Republican convention, because did anybody think about the Republican convention when that happened? No. So it just totally blew it for them. It just totally blew it for here. They're just all high fiving and hey, look what we're doing. And then Biden comes up with this bombshell. Not only did the Republicans just went silent. They were like, well, wait a minute, what happened? and and poor Trump. Oh my goodness. I just absolutely loved it. He does not know how to deal with Kamala Harris. And the first thing he does is start worrying about whether she's black or not. Oh, brother. Yeah, he just misses it. And what does Kamala do? Just totally ignores that. That's irrelevant. She's worried. She's concerned about doing the job. She's worried about bringing everybody out of this um, Trump fatigue and helping the country and not focusing on him, but focusing on us. And it's just such a relief and such a pleasure to see what is going on. Now, not to say that Biden wasn't doing the same thing. It's just Biden is He's 81 years old. He just doesn't have the same vigor, the same energy that he used to have. But that doesn't mean that all the things that he's done was not perfect and wasn't wonderful for us. It was great. It was just great what he has done for us. But Kamala, she brings a whole new light to it. She's younger. She's got more energy. She's extremely smart. She's extremely knowledgeable about how to do this. She's been doing it side by side. I mean, we were talking earlier about maybe that Obama was controlling things. No, if anything, it was those two, it was Biden and Harris working together that made things happen. And it was Biden's idea, and Harris looks into it and helps him with it all along the way. So she knows exactly how to be president. She knows exactly what to do with everything. I mean, I can't think of one thing that they've done that was really wrong, other than they couldn't get a lot of things passed, like the border thing. They couldn't get that passed because of the Republicans. It's perfect that the Republicans or Donald Trump is making these huge issues about the border, because that's one thing that he can bring some negativity to her for, is that she didn't maybe do what they all wanted her to do for the border. And why was that? Because she had no support from Congress. And so he's, again, there's the kind of setup he does. He worked at this. He knew, he maybe didn't know that she was going to end up running for president, but he would do those kind of things to make her look bad, or to make Biden look bad. That's all they were doing. They weren't doing anything for us. Nothing. And as you recall, Congress hasn't managed to do much of anything in 3.5 years. That is not the way we've ever had our country running before. There's been differences between Republican and Democrat in the House and the Senate and all that. That's nothing new. But to this degree, and to have somebody that's not even in a political office at the time calling the shots, no, we just don't want this. Nobody wants this. Well, maybe mega people want that. But hopefully those numbers are dwindling and things are going to be much, much better. Yeah. Perfect. Biden, Harris, and Waltz, and no ego. Yes. Yes. Oh, God. And I see things getting better and better here. It just is great. But again, this thing about Social Security and Medicare, it's really important. And I really want you guys to, or if you can tell your friends to, especially those that are on Social Security, that if they vote for Trump and Trump gets in there, they can say goodbye to their Social Security. And it's like, if they're not getting up in years, and it's like, well, no big deal. It will be a big deal when you get there, because right now, let's say you're in your 40s, you've been paying into Social Security, you'll never get that money back. So we just have to, yes, Garden Genie, boy, yes, you nailed that. And Republicans spend all their time suing Dems and not working for their constituents. Yes, this is a crazy time. I mean, I remember when Biden was, when Obama was having so much trouble with the Republicans, but somehow he managed to kind of work around things and still get things together. I know there's some people that even think, oh, excuse me, wait a minute. Good point. And they did All they did was to figure out how to impeach Biden. How stupid was that? Every time I heard it, I thought, are they still talking about that? Why would they? They never did, and how much time was wasted on that? How much money was spent in Congress talking about trying to find something to impeach President Biden? And why did they do that? Because Trump got impeached twice, so they're going to get back at us. They're going to get back at the Democrats. How dare they? How ridiculous. This is not the way the country's supposed to be run. I wish that all the Republicans could just be removed from office because they have not done one thing to help the country. And as a matter of fact, they've caused more trouble than anything else just by not helping with the border situation and blaming that all on Biden and particularly Kamala Harris because she was involved in that in the beginning. They didn't help with Ukraine. And then finally that went through, but it was like 6 months behind. This war between Ukraine and Russia probably would have been over if we could have helped them sooner. I mean, I can't say that for positive sure, but it just feels like it to me. So many things happening, and I just hope that everybody, first of all, enjoys the fact that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will be our next president and vice president come November, and then particularly in January. And then the circus, you think it's bad now. There's going to be a huge mess because of Trump and we'll just wait and see what he tries to pull. But he's panicked because if he's not president, he's going to have to face the music. He's going to have to face all these charges against him. He's going to have to face possibly jail time or prison time. And boy, I look forward to that. But I've said this for way over a year now, to expect the unexpected, and that the 2024 was going to be like riding a roller coaster, which it has been. 2025 politically is going to be entirely different. And we will be, if if you felt that happiness during the Democratic convention, that's what it's going to feel like, because now that finally the country is being run by an adult, an intelligent adult, and the fact that she's a woman, that is amazing. The fact that she's biracial, I love that. Because everybody that Trump is facing are these black women judges and prosecutors. And I'm just hoping that they get to do what they need to do, just because, I mean, it got totally screwed up because of the Supreme Court saying this broad immunity thing. And nobody expected that. Well, I can't say that. Maybe a lot of people expected that. I didn't. And maybe that really threw a wrench in the works. But at any rate, I'm going to end this now. Thank you so much for coming. I mean, I had like about 60 people here today. Surprise, surprise. Thank you so much. And like I said on the little banner there, this is my first solo video. And I hope to be doing more of them because, usually I do this show with my sister and Colleen the Cool Crone. And she's busy doing stuff until October, so I'll probably be back again. I hope I did okay. I hope I answered some of your questions, and I hope that I gave you hope for the future, because that's what we all need, and it's going to get better, and it's really going to be good. So thanks so much for coming and taking your time out of your busy days to listening to me ramble on. and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.